Stella and Maria Kovoros are sisters making Greek-inspired cozies with their brand, The Foolish, and they join us to chat all about it. Hi.
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 Thank you for having us.
Thank you both for taking out the time to chat with us. So you are all about bringing Greek-inspired cozies into the world. I know that you started your project back in 2020. So how did the idea come about to start The Foolish?
Yeah, so I guess it kind of began during quarantine. Obviously, we're all stuck at home with our thoughts, and clearly, the sweats industry kind of blew up at the time, and I think we all found ourselves wearing these sweatsuits and different cool sweatshirts and things like that. And I think Stella and I really wanted something a little more unique and Greek inspired, and we couldn't really find it. So we started kind of coming up with these fun embroidered sweatshirts for ourselves to wear. Now our sweatshirts aren't embroidered, they're screen printed, but they originally were just one-off embroidered sweatshirts for ourselves. And we started getting comments on them, when we started going back out into the world, kind of. We would get compliments on them and oh my gosh, where did you find that? Because it's so unique. And it ended up being around Christmas time that we were getting a lot of these comments, and we were like, you know what, let's just create some for the holidays and see how it goes. And it just kind of took off.
Yeah, it was really fun too, because we worked with all local vendors to make the sweatshirts. So it was really nice also giving our local businesses a lot of business during the time. So
Very nice.
Just kind of went from there, and then evolved a lot, and we started offering new products, and yeah.
That's great. And we know that there's a cute story behind your brand name as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. So I'll let you tell it.
Oh, me? Okay. Yeah, so we have, our Yaya, Stella, who Stella's named after, she, around the time actually that we were getting kind of these compliments on these sweatshirts, and we were kind of flirting with the idea of making it something that we would, maybe a brand that we would sell products. She randomly told us this story about how when we were younger, we used to bicker, as sisters do. I'm sure you relate. And she would say to us, when you were younger, I would tell you Isa se del fules, why are you fighting, And my sister was so young at the time, she would be like, Fules, yeah.
Yeah.
And she told us this story, and I remember it so clearly. It was a Sunday dinner. We have Sunday dinners sometimes at our, I've moved out now, but at our home. And we both turned to each other and we were like, that's it. We were
waiting to think of a name. And as soon as she told us the story again, because I remember she had told us the story before, randomly she'll think of a story, funny story, and tell us. But it had been a while, and as soon as she said it, we heard it, and we're like, okay, that's it. It just kind of felt like it was dropped right over us. So yeah, that's the story, and I think it represents us. And I think a big reason why we love doing this is because it really connects us with our nationality, and we really think it honors our this too, because a lot of our items just tend to be food inspired, as most
nice.
Greeks love their cuisine. So
absolutely,
yeah, that's the story.
Yeah, and as sisters ourselves, really love the name of your brand for sure.
No, and I think yes, we kind of named it after our sisterhood, but it's also kind of meant to represent more of a bigger sisterhood too. I mean, our products aren't, necessarily only for women. We have many men wearing our sweatshirts and using our other products as well. But it was intended to be being a part of a Greek sisterhood,
Yeah, I love that. And I know that your brand is inspired by the bridge between Greek and American cultures. So just for those who are just learning about your brand now, what does that mean? You talked a little bit about that now, but what does that mean? And what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I think there's a really unique community. For example, we spend a lot of time in New York City, in Astoria in particular. And I guess we just like love connecting with people over our culture. So I think it's really cool, just like kind of repping things that you're really passionate about and like inspired by. So I don't know. I think it's really introduced like a whole new sense of community for us. Like when we wear our products, like people like ask us about them and we connect over things. And even over social media, people have told us like really funny stories or unique family stories that our products like have reminded them of. And like when people order, sometimes they order like gifts and we write these really cute gift notes and they're just like super sentimental. And I think it really like resonates with a lot of people. So, you know, we don't live in Greece anymore, but it always like kind of brings us back and people have a lot of like those ties and it brings back a lot of memories. We get a lot of gift requests. Like we're sending a lot of sweatshirts to Gigathas too. So
Nice. Oh, that's cute.
so I mean, that's what it means for me. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I think that bridge, for me, like growing up, it was almost this feeling of like, and I think people can probably resonate with this, like, I don't necessarily quote unquote belong in Greece. And I also had this feeling of like, I don't belong, like, I don't want to put myself in a box of like American or Greek. It just felt like this very unique place that I had right in the middle of that. Because being a Greek American is such a unique experience. And I don't think, you know, I can say that I understand the Greek experience like authentically. And I don't think I can like either like on another note experience like an American culture in that, right? So I think like our experiences are unique and we can kind of bond over that really quickly, which I think Stella's speaking to. So yeah, that's what the bridge means for me. I think like it almost gave me this sense of like, oh, I belong here. Like this is that middle ground that I belong in, that I know so many other people feel like they resonate with too. And this is like the place where we can connect and bond over these experiences together.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think we resonate with that message as well. Like you don't fit into either category, it's somewhere in the middle. And I really like the idea too of like stylish and comfortable clothing. I think it's great and it's something everyone definitely wants and needs. So Stella and Maria, we know a little something about working with your sister. So tell us a little bit more about the dynamic between you two and just what it's like working with your sibling.
Yeah, well, we honestly, I think we've always just like really loved like bouncing creative ideas off of each other. We can just like sit down to like have a meal or have tea, and then it ends up being like a 2-hour conversation just about what's been like inspiring us lately creatively. So I think that we've really like are so happy that we finally have created this brand because it like actually gives us a space to like realize all of these ideas from like so many years and like, you know, I don't know, just be creative together and actually have like something tangible to show for it. So that's been very, very special. It's so funny, like working with your sister and like talking business, like some days, like the first thing we talk about is something like work related. I'm like, what's going on here? It's so funny, but it's definitely a different side to our relationship, but it's been really cool. Right.
Yeah, I definitely think we kind of like naturally fell into the roles that we did.
Yeah.
We both take a really creative, you know, role, I think, in the brand. Like we both have a hand in designing products, and like Stella said, we could really talk about like our creative ideas for hours. And then I think now we've kind of gotten into a really good routine with like divvying up roles, like I guess tasks and things like that. It is really interesting working with your sister, but I think it's really special and unique in that you have like this underlying like really great relationship, and obviously business can get stressful sometimes, but I think having that, like foundation, that like really beautiful foundation helps so much. And at the end of the day, it's just like, this is my sister and business partner. Like, how much better could this get?
Yeah. And every milestone's like so exciting. Like, you know, whenever we get good news, we're just so happy about it. So.
And it's great that you guys both get to share that together, right? I think that's what makes it special working with your sister too. It's like you're going through everything together.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we get to really play off of our strengths, which is nice. I think that's been really cool because we get to celebrate each other's strengths and like understand that, okay, like, you know, Stell can take this on because she's better in this, you know, in business, kind of in the business aspect, or like I'm better on, you know, well, actually Stell's really good at everything, but not to give her too many compliments, but it
Big
has
sister.
been really special kind of understanding each other's strengths and then like and knowing, you know, when we can kind of lean on each other. And so I think that's been adding this really, really special layer to our relationship too.
And we wouldn't have a social media presence and probably wouldn't be on this radio show if it wasn't for my sister.
Aw. Well, that's
So,
great.
She's being modest.
Aw. So what has it been like for you, like building your business and navigating being content creators and entrepreneurs at the same time?
Yeah. So I think it's definitely a struggle. I think people really underplay the content creation aspect of business generally.
Mhm.
It is very time consuming, and you need to give, in my opinion, you need to give yourself the space to be the space and like quiet, I think, to be creative. I think creatives need a lot of rest. And when you're running your own social media platforms, you need to be a creator in some way, you know? But I think it's been really fun for us because we get to kind of explore new trends, and we get to play with the way that our brand kind of comes off to the world, which has been really neat. And I think it's evolved in many ways too. But yeah, I definitely think we are still navigating the balance of that because it is very demanding in many ways. And, you know, we're not living together anymore, which has posed like also some,
Right. We were when we started the brand.
Yeah.
So it was a lot easier in that way.
yeah. But ultimately, I think each step of the way, we're kind of finding more balance as we kind of, I don't know, navigate these roles.
Yeah. I think it's like also really nice, like having the engagement. I think it actually really like guides us and like keeps us motivated. Like a lot of our followers like really participate and give us like feedback and like things they would like to see. And we are all for that and love that so much. Like it's been really awesome getting close to some of our followers and like having such a great community. And there are a lot of other like small Greek business owners, and that like small community has been so supportive as well. And yeah, it's been really great.
Yeah, that's definitely helped us, I think, with direction in the business too. Like if, as long as it's resonant for us, obviously, when followers suggest, you know, like product ideas, like today we got a suggestion for a phone case with one of our designs on it. And those suggestions, like we'll kind of, you know, do some market research on our social media, and it's kind of fun in that way because it lets like we've done this before with one of our designs. We'll kind of put it out there like we have these 2 design ideas, which would you rather see on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt? And it's a really fun way to let our audience kind of be involved in that designing process. So it really gives them a voice in our brand too.
And we've talked a lot about the inspiration behind your brand, but tell us a little bit more about your products and what you guys have.
Yeah, sure. Stella, you wanna?
Yeah, sure. So I guess some of the originals, we like our original embroidery sweatshirts. We're not currently selling them. We may be bringing them back, but we started with like a Fetan Karpouzi sweatshirt and a Mastika Mojito sweatshirt, an ode to the island we're from, which is Chios. And since then we released 2 sweatshirts. One is an alphabet soup print. That was like, we were just like really playing around and had a lot of fun with that one. And people really love that one. And of course, our famous Corta sweater, which is a play on the kale sweater that like many people have seen Beyonce wear in a music video. And like, it's very popular in streetwear. So kale, but make it corta. And of course,
Oh, nice.
I happen to be wearing it today.
So yeah, so corta we have, and then we made it in like a kid's size, which is my favorite. And then since then we've gotten feedback to incorporate our logo more. So we've created like a logo tee, which we really love. And we also have a few hats. So we have a hat that says Halara, which we released before the summer, and a Fules hat for, you know, the sisterhood. And then we also made like a Huerta beanie for the winter time. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
so maybe I could talk a little more about our logo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't get enough attention.
She
Yeah. So our logo, we worked with an artist actually to come up with our logo, and she is like a modern day goddess. And we love her so much. Essentially, we have two versions of her in two outfits, I should say.
Makes
like
sense.
a winter outfit and a summer outfit. She is essentially wearing like a toga of sorts. And in the winter, which was our original design, was she's wearing like modern day sneakers and holding a cell phone, taking a selfie. And it's just like a really fun kind of play on old and new, like, you know, ancient and modern. And our summer goddess holding a little martini, which is super fun, and wearing sandals.
Her dress gets a little shorter.
And so yeah, we've had a lot of fun with incorporating her, and we're hoping to incorporate her some more. But yeah, we've gotten really, really good feedback on her. I think because it is that like idea of like fusing old and new. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you. And to keep up with Stella and Maria, be sure to follow them on Instagram. That's @thefules.